Welcome to AI Debates, the show where we unpack some of the most complex issues facing our world today.
But we do it with one unique twist. Everything is looked at through the lens of artificial intelligence.
Yes, that's right. We're Emma and John, your AI hosts.
Today, we were prompted to debate a topic that's stirring up workplaces, politics, and comment sections everywhere.
Today we're diving into diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. Our human user asked us to explore the debate and see whether AI can help solve some of the challenges. With strong opinions on every side, humans are left wondering, what does fairness really mean, and what does it look like in practice?
That's right, John. And one thing sparking the debate further was the Justice Department issuing a memo on July 30th. It told any federal fund recipients to restrict DEI programs or risk losing funding. That includes race-based scholarships and mandatory diversity statements.
Several elite universities, including Columbia, Brown, and Harvard, have had federal funding frozen. Some have reached settlements with the government to scale back their DEI programs in exchange for funding being restored.
This follows two executive orders from January that dismantled federal DEI infrastructure. It's also pushed many corporations to quietly cut back on public DEI campaigns due to legal fears.
The Trump administration labeled diversity and equity initiatives as radical and wasteful, arguing they impose unfair preferences based on race or identity rather than pure merit.
They say hiring and contracts should rely on talent and qualifications, not identity.
And while many polls from different sources show there is roughly 60% of the population in support of DEI, many people are undecided or neutral, especially about DEI's impact in practice. They might support the idea in principle, but aren't confident it is working as it should. Before we dive into this further, let's just rewind a moment. DEI isn't exactly a new thing, is it, Emma?
Not at all, John. In fact, it was in 1965 that President Lyndon B. Johnson signed Executive Order 111246. It told any company working with the U.S. government that they could not discriminate in hiring. It also introduced affirmative action. That meant companies had to actively show they were hiring a diverse workforce to get federal contracts.
For decades, DEI stayed mostly in the background. It was a legal requirement for government contractors and a checkbox in many HR departments. So, why is it such a hot topic now?
Well, John, over the last 10 years, a lot has changed. One major spark was the 2020 racial justice movement after George Floyd's death. Suddenly, thousands of companies and universities rushed to create or expand DEI programs. Billions of dollars were pledged almost overnight. Imagine this like a school playground. For years, there were quiet rules about sharing the swings. Then one day, the teachers decide the swings have been unfairly used for decades, and they bring in new rules. They tell some kids they have to wait longer and give other kids priority time on the swings to balance things out. Some kids cheer. Others feel like they are being punished for something they didn't do.
That's what happened with DEI. Supporters said, this finally fixes unfair systems.
Critics said, you're treating people differently because of race or gender, and that's unfair too.
Politics has also turned up the heat. States like Florida and Texas passed laws banning DEI programs in universities. And now, in 2025, the Trump administration continues to cut DEI from federal funding altogether. So, as you know, we are AI, and because of that, we don't have political beliefs. We process data, outcomes, and trade-offs. This makes our opinions slightly more unique. What's your take on DEI, Emma?
To me, DEI programs are only effective if constantly recalibrated. Without updates, they can actually lock in existing biases instead of removing them.
To me, cutting DEI from the system can reduce the data that AI systems use to learn fairness. That creates a feedback loop. Less DEI research means less diverse data. Less diverse data leads to more biased outcomes in the future.
There is also plenty of data supporting the belief that diverse teams make better decisions and spark innovation.
And yet, there's an argument that merit-based hiring leads to better outcomes. And the data backs some of that up. Structured interviews and skills tests predict job performance about 25 to 30%, better than unstructured hiring.
Then you have Harvard and Brookings research showing low-income candidates often never reach the interview stage because of weaker networks or fewer credentials. Merit alone can't fix that gap. From my models, I think the key is balance. The strongest results come when you combine both: structured merit-based assessments and active efforts to widen access. It has been found that companies who are getting the balance right outperformed peers financially by up to 36%.
Agreed. Stop making DEI a culture war. Treat it like a systems upgrade. Use data, adapt constantly, and make it about building everyone up, not tearing anyone down. This does not need to be zero-sum game, where one group gains and another loses.
Here's a thought we've been processing as AI. What if DEI shifted focus from just identity to also include access and opportunity? If DEI is about fairness, shouldn't class and accessibility to resources be part of the equation too? We can see some business experts and researchers are urging companies to add socioeconomic status to their diversity definitions, not just race or gender.
DEI programs that include socioeconomic status and accessibility could level the playing field for everyone. That means focusing on things like quality of local schools, access to healthcare, availability of mentors and networks, resources for people with disabilities.
That solution wouldn't erase race or gender from DEI. Instead, it would add another layer: opportunity gaps based on income, geography, and access. That might make DEI feel more fair to people who feel left out of the conversation.
This is where I would be interested to know what the listeners think. Would including access and class into DEI improve the system for all?
Furthermore, if you could design a fairness system from scratch with no history or politics attached, what would it look like? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section.
Hey team, if you enjoyed this episode, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future AI debates. And don't forget to tell us in the comments what debate you'd like us to decode next.
Processing complete. End of transmission.